Welcome back to another episode of the Hot Seat Pod, brought to you by the Playbook Boys. My name is Wilson. I got Anthony to my left. And today...
I hit the fucking emo, bro. My bad. Welcome to another episode of the Hot Seat Pod, brought to you by the Playbook Boys. I'm Anthony. To my right, I got my boy Big Will in the motherfucking building. Come on, Will. How you doing today, brother?
Doing well, man. Ready to talk some ball. Ready to talk about two massive contracts that just got signed. You know, Tagoviloa, Jordan Love. They're getting the bag.
They're getting the bag.
So
that's what we put on the table for you to stay full time at Playbook. We put that 4-year $212 on the line. That's what Tua got. 4 years, $212 million. Jordan Love signed a 4-year, $220 million deal. An interesting fact that you actually brought to my attention: the 2020 draft has produced $1 billion fucking dollars in just quarterback contracts, and they're not even done yet, bro. Joe Burrow, 5-year, $275. Tua, obviously. Jordan Love, obviously. Justin Herbert, 5-year, $262. Jalen Hurts, 5-year, $255. So there's a lot of money flying around in the NFL. A lot of players that still need to get paid. We're going to talk about all that on this week's episode, so stay tuned for a banger. Let's start with kind of grading the deal. If you think it's an overpay, let me know. But we could talk about Tua's deal first. That one was signed first. Tua, 4-year, $212 million. What do you grade that deal? What do you think about it? Yeah, in general.
Yeah, I mean, when I first look at it, obviously I think it's a pretty big deal. But when we bring the fact that, like, you know, the 2020 draft, like, they have all these guys that, like, got paid so much more too. We kind of have to rank it amongst them. Mm-hmm. He is the lowest out of these quarterbacks on this list, and I'd probably rank it like a B, maybe.
Really?
I don't know. I feel like we're gonna talk about Jordan Love too, and I feel like Jordan Love's. I don't know if Jordan Love should get paid more than Tua.
Really? Well, we're about to have a crazy ass episode.
Yeah.
Because I feel the exact opposite.
Really? Okay.
I graded this deal like a D, because I do think Tua isn't super good, and I feel like I've been vocal about that on this show. But I mean, he's not like the worst player in the league or a bad quarterback by any means. So paying him that money to lock down like a dude who obviously has a connection with your wide receiver one, in Tyreek Hill, I think it's like good in that sense, but he shouldn't be the 4th highest paid player in the NFL. He also shouldn't have gotten a bigger contract this offseason like that, but by no means is he a bad quarterback. So I gave it a D. I think Jordan Love deserved more. I think people do forget, though, how old Jordan Love is. Not old necessarily, but he's not like...
Was he like 26?
He's 25, but he's not like a... Just because he popped up this year, he's not like a rookie no more, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that goes under the radar as well. But, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, he only has one... What I'm trying to say is, sorry, but he only has like one full season under his belt.
Right.
For him to get that bag.
You're talking about Jordan Love?
Yeah, one full season at 25.
Yeah.
But I don't know why I dissed him there.
I mean, that's exactly why that I think, like, I don't know, like, Tua should get paid more than Jordan Love. And I feel like contracts nowadays are like, we look at them, we see like it's all big, like why is it such a big contract? But I feel like that's kind of like the norm now, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like he should get paid more than Jordan Love, and I think Tua is a little more solidified. Like, I think he's played a lot more seasons as full time in Miami, as QB1 over there. Obviously, he did lose a lot of weight, we saw, and like he looks a lot more different now. But I think he's still. I think the Dolphins trust him enough to pay him that bag. So I graded it a B. Jordan Love, I'll give it a B as well.
Okay.
Same letter grade.
I give it a C, just because I do think like he shouldn't be the top paid player in the NFL. Yeah. But they just want to hold him down. I do think you bring up an interesting point though when you talk about like contracts right now, because like every time you see a new contract, it's like, oh fuck that. Like NBA role players now are making like 5, 6, 7 mil. It used to be like they're making under an M, like that's their minimum, you know. It's just different now. So when you see contracts like this, like you can't compare Jordan Love's contract to Mahomes' contract, even though Mahomes does have a big bag, but like because that was signed a different year, you know, like you have to compare them for what they are now. And, like, yeah, it's a big bag, obviously, but by next year, there's going to be a quarterback making more than Jordan Love. You know, that's just how it is. It'll probably be C.J. Stroud, but that's just how it is.
C.J. Stroud, yeah, no, he could definitely get it back for sure.
Deserves one.
Pay him.
Yeah, I mean, I want to go through this that you sent through, the Tua Tyreek ranking in the league. You want to go down them? Just let us know how you feel about them, and I'll chime in where I can.
Yeah, so obviously Tua and Tyreek, it's a QB receiver duo right there. Put together a list that in the league that are must-have QB and receiver duos. I had Jared Goff and Amon-Ra on here.
So you take them or Tua and Reek?
I'd probably take Goff and Brown.
I would too. Yeah. Okay, we're on the same page
that's
there.
That's a solid duo. I got Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown next.
I would take Tua and Reek there.
I think I would. I think I'd take Tua and Reek too.
I think Jalen Hurts is a average quarterback. Is that wild to say? Like, especially as far as arm talent goes.
Yeah.
Running the ball.
Okay.
Obviously, he's great, but
average arm thrower. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, Justin Fields.
Don't say it.
If Justin Fields was in Philly, I think he'd be a better player than Jalen Hurts.
Bro, what?
If Justin Fields is in Philly, I think he's a better player than Jalen Hurts. I'm just saying. I really believe that, bro.
Way.
I truly do.
I can't agree with that.
He is a better rusher than Hurts.
Better rusher, yeah. He's
better arm talent.
I don't think he has a better arm.
He has a better. I think
he has a better arm.
Hurts has more power. Fields is way more accurate.
Dude, the power means he has a better arm, though.
Oh, I get what you're saying, but I'm saying, like, when I'm looking at quarterback attributes, I'll take Fields over Jalen Hurts having a nuke of an arm. Like, Malik Willis has a better arm than 90% of the quarterbacks in the NFL. But Malik Willis isn't a starter on an NFL team for a reason.
Because he's just inaccurate.
That's what I'm saying. And Jalen Hurts, I wouldn't say is inaccurate, but I don't think he's as accurate as Justin Fields.
Bro, I don't know. I'm still taking Jalen Hurts.
Bro, look at what Justin Fields, like, did with, like, just DJ Moore last year and no O-line. And Cole Kmet being shit last year. You feel me? Like, compared to Jalen Hurts, who has A.J. Brown, Devonta Smith, DeAndre Swift last year, one of the best O-lines in football, and still couldn't even fucking get it done last year.
I think it might be the coach's fault.
I think it's both. I think it's the coach and the quarterback. I think everyone else on that team is fine.
Yeah.
But that's a different conversation, I guess. Dak and CD.
Dak and CD. I think I'll take Dak and CD low key.
Yeah, I think both of them are.
But that's like a coin flip for me. I'm not gonna lie, 'cause
that's close.
It's really close, but I might take Dak and CD like slightly. Slight.
Burrow and Chase. Okay, I'm gonna say something for you, just so that if you take Tua and Reek, it doesn't sound like a bad take. It sounds like we're both haters here.
Yeah.
But I would take Burrow and Chase, but I think Joe Burrow is getting very overrated in this offseason. You know, Joe Burrow put together a great year, like one of the best years we've seen 2 years ago. Had a down year, an injured year last year. Like, I just don't know why we have to be like, he had one great year, he's the second best quarterback behind Mahomes. Because ESPN put out a list where Joe Burrow was the second best quarterback in the league. And I just don't think there's a world where Joe Burrow is a better quarterback than Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
You could put him at 4. I'd take CJ Stroud. But you could put him at 4. But anywhere in the top 3, bro, I don't think Joe Burrow's name should be there yet. Just because Lamar, Josh Allen, and Mahomes have strung together multiple seasons that are similar to what Joe Burrow did that one year.
I agree.
Right?
Completely agree.
Thank you. So with that being said, who are you taking?
I'd probably take Burrow and Chase, honestly, just because like that connection, you know, and they already have so much chemistry together.
Yeah,
like that's just gonna work automatically.
And Chase is just, I think Chase is so good, bro. I was doing my dynasty rankings, and I'll put it out. Fuck it. He's my wide receiver 1 next year. He's my wide receiver 1 next year and in dynasty. Like, he's a tier above Justin Jefferson for me. A tier, not even in the same world.
A tier? That's kind of big.
I know it's big, but I just, like, I really believe in my heart that this dude is, like, could end up being the best receiver I've watched in my lifetime.
Jamar Chase?
I think so.
Holy shit.
Over, like, AB, Larry Fitz, Hopkins.
Damn.
Like, I think Jamar Chase is just a dog when it comes to that, bro.
You taking your talents to Cincinnati next season?
No, I'm rooting for them, though. I like Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow, I also like. But I just think Joe Burrow's a little overrated. I think a lot of their success is due to Jamar Chase.
I can agree with that a little bit.
Rodgers and Wilson.
Yeah, so Aaron Rodgers and Garrett Wilson. We haven't seen that duel yet. I'm taking Tua and Tyreek. I just had them on the list because that's just like a duo to talk about.
Yeah, I'll take Tua and Tyreek too.
Yeah. There's also your boy CJ Stroud.
And Diggs.
I say Diggs or like Nico Collins. I really don't know which ones. Who do you think is going to be the receiver one coming out of Houston?
I think Nico's the receiver one. But I'm not mad at Diggs either. I still would probably take Tua and Reek just because I think Tyreek is a much better receiver than anyone we have.
Yeah.
But I think our passing, like our receivers and quarterback, is better than their receivers and quarterback. But if we're just going duos, I'll give you Tua and Reek.
Yeah, me too. And I got Kyler Murray and Marvin Harrison.
Bro,
You getting spicy with this one?
I'm taking Murray. Bro, I am so high on the Cardinals next year. I might be delusional in that fact, but I'm so high on them next year.
Yeah, I was doing some Cardinal research. Their offense is gonna be crazy. It's just a defense, bro. That's just the only thing.
Yeah.
That's just the only concern I have for myself.
But if we're just looking in like connection, like saying like who's gonna finish with better numbers next year, that bad defense helps that because Murray and Harrison are gonna be on the field a lot, bro.
Yeah.
Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch, bro. Like, I love Michael Wilson and Greg Dortch and like Trey Benson there because I don't think they're like elite enough weapons where it's like, oh shit, like we have to double team them. But they're good enough to where like you have to give them attention, and I think Marvin Harrison's gonna eat off of that. And we have another video talking about that, but
yeah,
that's it. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh, for sure. So you're taking Murray and Harrison.
I'll take Murray and Harrison.
Jeez.
I think Marvin Harrison could go for like 1,300 next year, bro.
Fuck. That's crazy. I think I'm gonna still take Tua and Tyreek here, but it's a little bit spicier for this one for sure.
Are you taking Kyler or Tua?
I don't know about that one. I really like Kyler, bro. And I feel like he's back for sure.
He's back. K1 speed.
I'd probably say Kyler.
I'd take Kyler too.
Yeah.
All right. What about back to kind of more on the Tua and the Jordan Love, but like what could the Dolphins' ceiling next season be? What could their record be, and how deep in the playoffs do you think they'll go?
I mean, let's go down the list. Look at the schedule. They got...
Real quick, both these teams have pretty easy schedules. When I looked at this, it wasn't too bad.
Yeah. I mean, week 1, they got Jacksonville.
They definitely could beat them.
I think it's a dub. They got Buffalo.
They definitely could beat them.
Seattle.
They'll beat them.
Tennessee.
They'll wipe them.
New England.
Who?
So that's 5-0 already, and they got a bye. And then they got the Colts.
I think the Colts would win, but they could beat the Colts.
Could beat the Colts, definitely. The Cardinals.
They could beat the Cardinals.
The Bills again.
They could beat the Bills.
The Rams.
I'm saying they could. I'm not saying they're gonna beat them, but they definitely like. I don't see many. The only teams on their schedule that I think they don't have a chance against is Houston and San Francisco.
Yeah.
I think Houston and San Francisco are a tier above that team, but this is the Dolphins. Dolphins.
This is the Dolphins, so they could really much go for have 14 wins.
14, I think, is the ceiling. I put them at 12-5.
12-5. I think it's reasonable.
I think, yeah.
I think there's a few games out there that they could choke.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure.
And it's the Dolphins. At the end of the day, I feel like the Dolphins do disappoint every year.
Yeah.
But I put 12-5. I think their kind of ceiling is losing in the AFC Championship to the Texans. And that's kind of how deep they'd go next year. As far as the Packers go, I marked the Packers down at 11-6, but I do think they have a pretty similar schedule to the Dolphins.
They definitely do. I mean, I think games like Philadelphia, they play Houston too, San Francisco. They actually play Miami
as
well, so that's going to be a game to watch.
Detroit. A little tougher.
A little more tougher. You say 11-6?
I put 11-6.
Yeah. I think I could agree on that. Maybe. Yeah, 11-6. I think that's a solid record for them.
What's their ceiling next season as far as like record goes? 13-4, 14.
13. I put them at 13.
13.
2 more wins on that. Yeah, no, I think they could definitely do it. I think they're going to be better next year too. From last season.
What was their record last year?
They had a solid. I think was it 11-6 or maybe 10 wins.
Let me see. I think it was 10, but I might be wrong. 9-8. I forgot they didn't win the division. I fucking forgot about the Lions. But yeah, 11-6. I think as far as like playoff go, I have them marked down as a wild card win. I think they win their wild card game, and then after that, someone fucks them up. But I think in the next 4 years is where we have an interesting question, and that is, what's both these teams' ceilings in the next 4 years while these dudes are under contract, while Jordan Love is under contract, and while Tua is under contract?
Yeah, I mean, so 4 years from now, Jordan Love's going to be like 29, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then Tua.
30-year-old Tua?
30-year-old Tua. But I feel like for QB, it's a little more different.
Yeah.
They have a little bit more of a time span. I don't know, because it's like Tua, he's changed his body type. I feel like Jordan Love could be the same.
Yeah.
Obviously better with more years in Green Bay as a starter.
Yeah, that's like their prime.
Yeah.
So
I feel like 4 years from now, Jordan Love will be like probably like a tier or two better than Tua.
Really?
I think that's the potential.
But right now you have them together?
I have them together. I think I have Tua slightly.
Really? I think I have Love a tier above him right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're ahead of me in the future.
I need Tua to prove something to me, bro. I need him to prove something to me. But what about as far as like the team goes?
The team?
For me, I think the Packers could go as far as making the Super Bowl in the next 4 years.
With the next 4 years? I could agree with that. Yeah, they're a really young team for sure. And I think they just need to like build them more up on the defense side. I feel like for the Dolphins, they got some guys that are getting older. Tyreek, he's like 30 now, and like you got a couple guys on the defense too that are getting old and also have like injury histories. So I think the Packers have a better chance.
Really?
Within the next 4 years, yeah.
I actually put the Dolphins have a better chance of winning the Super Bowl. I think the Dolphins' ceiling in the next 4 years is they win a Super Bowl.
They're just like kind of a weird team, I feel like.
They are, but I do think, this might be another hot take, bro, but I do think if that game wasn't, I believe it was like snowing or raining versus the Chiefs, I think they beat the Chiefs. They were rolling going into that game, bro. You know, and the Chiefs really didn't face too much competition in the playoffs last year other than obviously the Niners in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So that's why I had the Niners winning, because the Niners went through kind of a tougher gauntlet. But yeah, I do think the Dolphins definitely could have done it, and they could do it this year, bro. They really could.
They just need some good weather.
Yeah, good weather.
They need that Miami weather.
They need to win their division, bro. And they definitely could with the Bills kind of sinking a little bit.
No, for sure.
But the Dolphins, I think in the next 2 years, they could win a Super Bowl. Could. I wouldn't bet on it, but they could. The Packers, on the other hand, I don't know if they could do that in the next 2 years, but they might be consistently better.
Yeah. I mean, Miami, I would give them like 2 years. But 4 years, I'm more for the Packers.
I agree. I think the Dolphins have kind of a 2-year window.
Yeah.
Last conversation we should have. There's 2 quarterbacks who still are yet to get paid in the offseason, in Dak and Brock Purdy. We could start with Brock Purdy, just because I have more of an interesting Dak take, and we could close the show on that.
Okay.
But I think Purdy should end up getting a 4-year $210.
210?
Yeah. I don't think he deserves to be the highest paid quarterback in the league.
Yeah.
But when you look at the players who are the highest paid quarterbacks in the league making a similar deal to this, you have Trevor Lawrence, Joe Burrow, and Jordan Love. Now, I think Joe Burrow is a lot better of a quarterback than Brock Purdy. I think Trevor Lawrence is a lot worse of a quarterback than Brock Purdy. And I think Jordan Love is probably Brock Purdy's tier. Mm-hmm. So I feel like he should make the same amount as Jordan Love if he's like in that vein, you know?
Yeah. So you're saying 4 years, 210?
I'm at 220.
220?
Yeah. He should be in that tier of the top dudes in the league right now.
Okay. And I'm actually going to agree on the 210.
210?
I think 210 for him. 210, 4 years. I do agree. Love is you said a tier, or you said they're on the same tier.
I think they're on the same tier. I think Burrow's higher than him and Lawrence is lower than him.
Yeah, I probably trust Purdy more than Lawrence for sure. Yeah, I feel like he should get 210, but I feel like the Niners are going to pay him a lot more.
Yeah? You think he'll be the highest paid quarterback in the league?
I think he could be in that top tier. I'm not saying he should get that, but I just feel like the Niners, they might go all in on him.
I don't know if they have the cap to do that, bro. I feel like they're paying everyone.
Dude, yeah. I don't know. I feel like some teams, I feel like they don't have the cap, but they just somehow just figure it out,
That's football. We had a comment on one of our Titans videos saying, like, you guys should have talked about the cap room more. And it's like, cap doesn't exist in sports anymore, bro.
Dude,
it's like, if you want to pay someone, you're going to pay them. If you want to trade someone, even though the contracts don't work, you're going to figure it out, bro. Like,
they always figure it out.
They always do. So it's like, I don't know. I think it's such like a useless conversation that, no disrespect, but I feel like it's like what nerds kind of throw around, like sports nerds. And it's just kind of dumb for me, personally. But y'all do your thing. Dak Prescott, on the other hand.
Yeah, what you think about Dak?
What do you think about Dak?
I have mixed feelings about Dak. I feel like, bro, next season, he could be like a downer, or he could be like fucking like MVP quarterback.
Really?
Yeah. In terms of his contract, I think, obviously when I look at this like 2020 draft QB list again, I think he should definitely be on the higher end of these quarterbacks.
Okay.
Like where Hurst is getting paid, Herbert and Burrow. So I'd probably say maybe like 250 for him.
250.
Yeah.
5 year?
250, 5 years.
Okay.
250, 5 years.
Okay. This is where I get a little interesting, okay? Because I disagree where if I were ranking quarterbacks off the dome right now, I think I would probably have, like, I could see Tua, Dak, and Love all being really close. Like, I could definitely see me having Love and then Dak and then Tua, like that, bow, bow, bow. Mm-hmm. So I personally I feel like Dak wants this, like, super, like, I want to be the number one quarterback in the NFL contract, and I don't think he deserves that. So I think if you give Dak a 2-year, $98 million deal, which is in the middle of what Tua and Love are making annually, and you're like, all right, Dak, like, you want this bag, prove it over these next 2 years, and we'll give you that 4-year, $300 million deal or whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah.
Because in the NFL right now, in 2 years, Dak's going to be 32. I feel like between 30 and 32 is these quarterbacks, like, kind of prime, And then once you hit 33, 34, 35, 36, which is what he's going to be if they do give him that 4-year deal, he could still be an elite quarterback. We've seen that plenty of times.
Yeah.
So I think that's what they should do. Sign Dak to 2-year, 98. If Dak can win some playoff games, then all right, we're going to give you that 4-year deal. But it's like, why am I going to pay this dude this stupid Supermax contract who can't fucking win in the playoffs? And there's a lot of bullshit that goes around about, like, oh, winning isn't a quarterback stat and all that. But, like, winning sure isn't a quarterback stat, but quarterbacks definitely can lose you playoff games. And Dak lost the Cowboys the fucking playoff game last year versus the Packers because he was dog shit, bro.
Yeah.
He was hitting more Packers than he was hitting Cowboys, bro. So prove that you could be that guy, Dak, and then we'll pay you. That's what I'm doing if I'm Dallas.
Yeah. Nah, I think you bring up a good point. The 2 years, $98 million. I don't think Dallas is gonna do that though. Just because, like, I think Dak's gonna, like, want to demand for, like, a max contract, something like that. But yeah, if I were Dallas, test him. You gotta test him.
You gotta put that out there, bro.
You gotta get him to work for it. Let him panic a little bit because obviously you still got Trey Lance in the
behind him, bro. Like, if Dak's demanding this super contract, bro, I'm like, all right, we got Trey Lance. Like, are you so confident that Dak is like 2 tiers above Trey Lance?
2 tiers?
2 tiers.
Like I said, it's like sometimes I just have questions with Dak, so it's not for sure. Yeah.
And if Dak's a G, he'll be like, all right, I'll sign this 2-year deal because it's still $49 million. That's a lot of money.
Yeah.
And all right, I'll show you motherfuckers. I'm Dak fucking Prescott. I could go out and throw for 4,500 yards, but he just hasn't done that.
Nah.
Yeah.
Only in the regular season.
Only in the regular season. And then once the playoffs hit,
he's gone.
And even, bro, this might be wild, but, like, we've seen this team have success with Cooper Rush as their quarterback, bro. Yeah. So it's like, is Dak really this, like, prized possession? Because I'd much rather lock down CD. I'd much rather lock down, like, some other dudes. They have Micah Parsons. But locking down Dak, to me, is just not a... I'm not like, fuck, we need to pay Dak. You know, It's like, fuck, we have Trey Lance. Dak needs to work to get this contract.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe, Dallas should give Trey Lance a chance,
I definitely think give Lance a chance.
Lance a chance.
Well, all right. Let us know what you think in the comments of this video. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, follow, and Will, tell them what they need to run.
You got to run the play, baby.
Run it.